A good console is nothing without a good controller. It's extremely hard to make something that everybody likes, judging by the pieces of crap platform holders have made over the years. Here are 7 of the worst first-party controllers ever made.
Discover a new world of moves and combinations that simply aren't possible with normal controllers.
For the first time, let me now unveil Xbox.
Microsoft's attempt at jumping into the console business was fairly successful, although one of their flaws was the decision to supply the console with the Xbox Duke controller. The enormous size of the thing made it hard to handle for gamers with small hands. Microsoft reacted quickly by releasing the much smaller S controller and has never looked back.
I suck! Oh, come on, go!
The most important part of this to us is the controller.
We really focus a lot on what gamers are looking for. Precise controls, tactility, right sizing.
The Ouya console started as a Kickstarter event which crowdfunded a completely new console. The controller that came with it was pitched as a love letter to gamers. Well, it was a love letter you don't wish upon your worst ex. The buttons felt extremely cheap and it was uncomfortable to hold for long periods of time, which is pretty bad for a video game controller.
This is the perfect hybrid to have something that's inexpensive, it's open, and it comes with a fantastic controller.
Here's Benjamin Hall on the Jaguar system to play Cybermark. Let's see how those beastly graphics and intricate moves that only come from 64 bits of Mega Power feel.
The Atari Jaguar controller looks like a hybrid of a controller and an old-fashioned telephone. According to Atari, this was a brilliant innovation because it let you put game-specific overlays over the buttons. Unfortunately, nobody agreed with them and gamers bought other consoles like the Sony PlayStation and Nintendo 64 instead. It didn't take long for Atari to go bankrupt after this one.
Mom.
I get it. This is cool.
All right, so try serving.
What do I do?
Just point and click. Welcome to interactive tennis, Phil.
The Philips CDI was a pretty big fail, and their infrared remote control was a big part of that. The multimedia aspect of the console didn't manage to win over many consumers. The games were nothing to write home about either, and the horrible controller made playing them feel like a chore. It didn't take long before Philips pulled the plug on the whole thing and decided to stick to home electronics instead.
With a controller so advanced it plays arcade.
What's the deal with the phone-shaped controllers, Atari? Although the Atari 5200 controller was released much earlier than the Jaguar, it also resembled a phone keypad and turned out to be a big failure. The joystick it featured was a little old-fashioned too, which resulted in bad sales numbers. It was a bad controller made for an average console made by a fading company.
Whoa! TIE fighters! Fireballs! Coming right at me! Watch the laser towers!
Can you believe that the Sega Saturn 3D controller was made for a single game? Nights into Dreams came packaged with a disc-shaped controller, but it wasn't a nice gift for gamers. It was awkward to use and it wasn't compatible with a lot of other games on the system. The joystick was revolutionary, however. Such a shame it was attached to such a horrible controller.
First of all, we want to say congratulations. You have in your possession the Sega Activator, the ultimate full-body game controller.
Way before the Nintendo Wii and its motion controls existed, the Sega Activator stole the show. Well, not so much, because the device made playing games feel like punishment. The Activator worked with infrared but failed to register inputs half of the time, making it nearly impossible to use. It also took up quite a bit of space in your living room. The whole thing was simply an epic fail.
Now, take a look at your fingers. Identify the ones we like to call thumbs. Pat them on the back if you can find their backs, and thank them. Up until now, they've been doing all the work, but that's about to change.